Today we're going to go over a little bit about the bad side, the ugly side of AI in business. There's a lot of options, a lot of tools out there, a lot of ways of doing things with AI and workflow. So today I thought I'd go through a little bit about some of the things that businesses are thinking about, but also, the pitfalls to avoid. So we're going to go through this. I've put together a presentation using Google NotebookLM, which is an incredible tool for putting together presentations, podcasts, and other relevant content that you might want to use within your own business. So let's go through these slides here, and we'll talk a little bit on each of them about some of the things you should avoid, in your business and what you can do about them too. So first up is really the AI mandate is forcing this innovation in the dark. So when we talk about this is that there's this concept of shadow AI. And what that means is that there are people in your organization already using these tools to perform their jobs. The things you have to be careful about with that is the fact that they're doing this without approval, without any kind of knowledge, and they might even be opening up a lot of security risks as far as things such as putting customer information in chat. The idea behind that is they think they can actually go and produce results faster, but the reality is they're actually exposing a lot of your customer information into training models out there like ChatGPT, like Claude, like Gemini. That's something to really consider as you're starting to adopt a lot of these tools and putting policies in place. The other thing too is that as you start using these tools, the biggest issue that you run into is that there's this compounding debt and dependency issue where we keep adding more AI tools and workflows and processes over and above undocumented workflows to the point that we no longer have anything documented because AI does happen so quickly and we can actually implement things really quickly too. So this whole shadow IT concept is really a concern for a lot of organizations. The other thing too is just you can't just toss AI at a broken process. You can take a look at a business process, map it out, and refine it and adjust it and add AI into it. But what's happening right now is that we think that, okay, a process is broken. Let's just throw some AI in there. It's going to solve all of our problems. No different than just buying that new shiny piece of software. There's no silver bullet when it comes to this. So really what we end up with is a broken process with adding AI into it, and it's a bigger broken process. We're creating more debt conversation as far as technical debt versus process debt. So in the old days, we used to say there's a lot of technical debt, like our old systems, we keep building on top of them. There's bad code. There's just different changes to the software. It's not updated. But now we're getting to this point where our processes are equally as bad. And now we're throwing AI on it and we're hoping that it's going to solve all our problems. And that's not the case. So we really need to think about subtraction of what we're working with. And that means really uncovering how our processes work, spending the time to actually document them and put them into a way that's understandable for a human so we can actually decide at what point we want to layer in these different things such as AI, such as workflow, such as RPA. So the idea here is that AI can't just solve all of our problems. We actually do need to put some intelligence behind that. So uncovering our processes, eliminating things with them. This is what we call process reengineering, trimming down the fat, taking away non-value actions, things that might be redundant in a process, and then standardizing these things so that we can actually carry that off into the AI world, or quite honestly, even just creating just basic workflows. And this kind of takes us to the whole idea is use the right tool for the job. So if you have the right tool for the job, you'd be able to not only create efficiencies, but you'll probably save a lot of money too. There are a lot of people out there that are going in and purchasing Claude. They're purchasing all these credits, spending thousands of dollars in AI credits. But the reality is they don't really need to because the problem they're trying to solve is actually a lot simpler than they've made it out to be. They just found AI could solve all of it. But there are other ways where you can do a nice little combination of all of them too. So you don't need to necessarily just go and just throw AI at everything. It is very powerful where it can do a lot of automation, but there's some other ways to kind of create guardrails, predictability, as well as data for actually measuring effectiveness of processes that you can still use and use AI to actually understand all these things too. So really this kind of comes down to map your operational reality. So my kind of key takeaways here is fix the process first. And then really take a look at your workflows, document the workflows, take the low value stuff that's going on right now and address those right away. Prioritize the precision over hype. Again, this comes back to matching yourself with the right tool. It doesn't have to be agentic AI every single time. There are other things out there too that might accomplish the job, but you can use AI to kind of complement that. Address that shadow AI. Put policies in place. Educate your staff. Give them the tools that they need in order to do their jobs. But also part of that is actually uncovering how these business processes work in the organization. Because if there's not a lot of documented standards, people will go and create their own things, which is not kind of the number one reason you see shadow AI become this thing. And of course, standardizations I just touched on is you just standardize how you want it to work within your organization. So hopefully that kind of helped out and kind of give you some perspective. It's a short video on this. There's lots you can kind of uncover as far as how the mapping out processes works and how to actually incorporate different tools into it. AI, don't get me wrong, is absolutely critical to a lot of things we're doing today. But I think a lot of people are rushing in without actually spending the time to actually understand how it fits into their whole world.